So, like I said, I want them to learn from their mistakes. Because God forbid I'm not here. Like when I was a kid, my mom made me cook and clean. Because when I got to college, I knew how to cook and clean. Sure. Kids were like, I don't know how to do a wash.
Yeah.
So I make my daughter wash the clothes. Now, do I punish my kids? Yes. Am I one of those like, I'm just gonna be a hit you? No. And that's the infuriating part about this whole thing is it makes it sound like I'm a monster and I beat my kids. Do I spank my kids? Yes. Will I use a belt? Yes. A spoon? Yes. I mean, we all got cracked here and there with a wooden spoon. Am I going to do it till I beat them and they can't sit or walk or they're bleeding or... No. Will I whop them a couple times? Okay. Did you learn your lesson? Okay. I mean, it's gotten to a point where the two little ones, I say I'm going to go get my belt and they're like, no. Now, I don't want them to fear me, but I want them to have a learning lesson and be like, hey, you screwed up, here's the punishment. And, I mean, that's, like I said, the best that I try. I mean, unfortunately, we're in this circumstance, but, I mean, when I punish my kids, I don't go, oh, I'm just going to beat you until, you can't sit. No. I'll give them a couple whaps, but then I sit down and talk to them. This is why I punished you. We're going to learn from this, so we don't do it next time. And I'm one of those, like, I'll say it once, I'll say it twice, then I'm going to get punished. I'm not one of those, like, I'm just going to come around you and smack you in the head and be like, you're an idiot. I try to be as positive with my kids as positive, reassuring them, hey, everything's going to be okay, you're great, did you have a good day? I tell them every morning, we get in the car when we leave, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're going to be right there. When you get out of school, how'd you do today? Let's go over your homework. So as far as punishment, I'm the enforcer, but I make punishment a learning process. Yeah. I don't just punish them and say, well, take it. You acted out, you got punished. Here you go. Yeah. But my punishment has a reason. I don't just say, I'm just doing it, don't ask. Yeah. I punish you for this. This is what you did. Next time we're not going to do it. And I've told my kids, you're going to do it 1,000 times. And you're going to get punished 1,000 times. I still love you. I'm going to get mad at you. But it's a learning process. We will get past it. And A, B, and C.
Tell us about what happened yesterday.
I got up. She had made eggs for herself. No problem. Don't have an issue with it. We were cleaning because the day before we had gone to the zoo, everything was fine. The day before that, we went to the circus. Everything was fine. But since she hasn't been on her meds, she has times of, I would say, anger. Or like, I'm not going to do this, I don't care. So I was like, all right. So anyway, we were cleaning. No problems. I was doing the dishes. I look over. The stove's on. So I, told her, I was like, come here. I want to show you that she lost it. She started freaking out, screaming, I'm not coming here, screaming, cursing, but I was like, we're not going to do this. We're going to discuss this. So I showed her. I was like, the stove is on. You're going to start a fire. The pilot was low, but I'm like, if this fuse goes out, now that's carbon monoxide. You could kill us and we not know. So the problem with her, and that we've learned through therapy, is she doesn't like to get yelled at. She just closes up like a shell and it's like, but the problem is the therapist has told her, the psychiatrist has told her, like, you're going to get in trouble, you're going to get yelled at. Like, you have to accept that's life. Right. She doesn't accept it. Like, it's like, you cannot yell at her. So she closes up, like, whatever. So anyway, we went tit for tat. So it ended. She was upset now because I yelled at her. So I was like, you could blow this house up and kill us. So like I said, it was a learning process. I was like, make sure, turn this off. I was like, I want to be able to trust you. But now, I'm not going to let you cook if I'm not home. now I'm gonna have to watch you. So she got upset. So my kids take stuff and leave it in the most random places. So I found a hammer. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the hammer back into the room. So I was carrying that. I don't know how to describe it. I guess the head of it, yeah, in my hand, and then I call it the butt of the hammer. So I'm walking around, So I took it and I hit her in the hand with it. Not hard, so she got mad. So then she was like, well, started getting all defensive, started cursing, and well, I was like, we're not gonna do that. So then, oh, you're not gonna do anything, but so I hit her again. I was like, we're not gonna do this. I was like, we're not gonna fight. This is your sister. Oh, you don't do anything to them. Blah 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 blah. Like all this, like putting me down and so I hit her on the form. I said, we're done. Hit her in the butt. Maybe twice. She started crying. Okay. I'm like, we're done. I'm done with these comments to your sisters. They're mean. They're not, avian. So anyway, we were done. Everything was fine. I went about my business. She was cleaning. She was upset. So I give her space. I'm like, cool down. Talk about it later. I told my daughter, this is the rabbit hole we're going down. When DHS came, when we had the issues at school, when she was going to middle school, when she went to the hospital 3 times. I'm like, if you keep saying that, they're going to put you in longer and longer and longer. Then she kicked out my wife. Then a couple months ago, before break, she came to me and said, I can't find my science book. Somebody stole my science book and threw it in the trash. My daughter will look at you and say, I didn't do it, and not blink a lie. Like, she could kill somebody and be like, I didn't do it, and have the knife in her hand. Like, we had problems with her with homework. She would be on her laptop. I did my homework. I'd go in her history. She was looking at YouTube for the last 4 hours. Never did homework. Straight-faced. That's why we had an issue with DHS, because of her line before, so she embellished a lot of things and became, this. Well, it was really this. Well, it was really this. And like I said, she could say one story, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But I believe her. Yeah. She is my daughter. I don't care if she did it, I believe her, and then whatever happened. But, do I try my best to be the best dad? Do you try the best to be the best dad, best police officer? You try to make the best of it. How can we fix this situation? I had plenty of calls where I would go to a domestic and it was the same call. It's the same family, and you were like, you knew the parents did it. And you were like, you are the most horrible parents. I respect you guys. We've all done this. We're all cops. I don't want to be that person to be like, oh. Right. As a parent, what do I do?
Let's pause.